Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the holiday update stream. I'm your host, Keenan, or Keyman45, otherwise known as your Rumbleverse community manager. I'm your man on the streets of Grappital, sharing your thoughts with the game with our development team, and today I have our lead designer, once again, Adam, or the Keats, to break down everything new coming to the game tomorrow. A friendly reminder, if you're a streamer or a content creator, you're always welcome to restream or capture your thoughts on everything changing in the game. Feel free to tag us with your thoughts too, because we love seeing those reactions. I'll now pass it over to Adam to introduce himself as he adventures our snowy environment.
Around me, it's holiday decorations. They're all over the place, and of course, you can still swing on them, no problem. Very, very cool. You can find me on Twitter if you want to brave that rapidly exploding hell site at the Keats. But otherwise, Keenan and I have a bunch we want to show you today. A little summary of the show. Keenan, can you give us a little summary of what we expect to see today?
Sure. So we got some new stuff, balance and bugs, of course, and then we'll be demoing our second limited time mode of the season. Then doing some title fights, see who can beat us up, and some restricted match duos.
Yeah, sounds good. And, our limited time mode, which we'll get to in a little bit here, is a brand new way to play the game. It's not just more players in the same game, so we'll be talking about that. But let's check out the new stuff first. What do you think, Keenan?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. All right.
So first up, a brand new move to the game, spotted in our Season 2 trailer, named Liberate. This comes in an epic variety only, and if you land this vicious attack, an item from your opponent's pockets will be ejected onto the floor.
That's right. That's what jostles inventory means, and this is a vicious attack. So this looks like a nice little hip check. If you miss, you're going to fall on your butt. Of course, you can do it in the air, like you would expect. If you do hit somebody with it, you're going to see something fall out of their pockets. Keenan, do you have empty pockets or full pockets at the moment?
3 more stuff in my pockets right now.
Right, so I'm going to get one item of his each time I hit him. It's going to be random which one I get. All that other stuff is just fun VFX. And once he's out of items... Oh, keybat. I'll just take that. All right. When he's out of items, if you hit somebody who's empty with this, you're just going to see moths come out of their pockets instead. So it's very clear that their pockets are empty. It's not a very fast move. Pretty easy to dodge on reaction. But of course, you could combo into it. Damage is pretty low as well, but as far as getting things out of people's pockets, I think this adds a really new and interesting element to the game. And one other thing to think about when you're using this move, especially as a solo player, Keenan, can you pocket this chicken again? So I'm going to knock the chicken out of his pocket, and then he and I are both going to scramble and try to pick it up. You ready?
Yeah.
So it's like really, really close to the exact same amount of time that we recover in. Let's do it again. And you don't know which way the item's going to pop out either. Sometimes it pops out behind, sometimes to the sides. So you're probably going to fight the person that you just knocked the item out of their pocket for it, rather than just being able to pick it up. So quite a bit of a scramble. But where this really shines is in teams modes. If I had a teammate who was coordinated with me, I could knock this out of Keenan's pocket and they could pick it up before Keenan recovers. So it's very, very useful in team modes as well. It can be disruptive in solos, but you might want to pack a backup magazine for that end game moment when the items are all gone anyway. So that's Liberate. Very, very cool.
Yeah, welcome Liberate to the game. Next up, we are adding a football, which is a brand new throwable to the game. This is the longest range throwable. And let's see it in action.
Let's do
go real far.
Let me get rid of this keybat. I'll throw a few footballs at you. You'll see how far we can get them to go.
I'll wave to see where I'm going in the distance.
Okay. I kind of see you. Head over to the Machos Nachos. Let's see if I can hit you.
Sure thing.
Maybe about here?
Oh,
that was close.
I'll throw
really far.
I'll throw it back.
Okay. I'm right here. See if you can get me. Nice shot, dude. Nice. But you'll actually notice that the VFX on this get bigger the farther it is away from you. That's because footballs are kind of small and it'd be hard to see otherwise. But you can see as it travels away, the VFX get really big, so you can kind of see where... Oh, I got him. Nice.
You got me.
That was sick. It doesn't do a ton of damage, but man, this thing, it travels, and it'll make you feel like a sniper when you take somebody off a building like this from this far away. Oh, that's great. So yeah, the footballs are in there.
I'll be waiting for the Hail Mary moment where someone's thrown really far out the ring. And then maybe they get that one throw, secures them the KO for the win when they're super far out. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Yeah. I always pocket them just because it's really fun to land that long shot with them.
For sure. Cool. Next up, onto a new consumable, or newish
Yeah,
consumable.
you
We're going to
guys
be
know about these
introducing.
next two. They were in a hotfix update, but we're going to go over them anyway since we didn't get the chance to last time.
Yeah. So next up is going to be the popcorn party, which you all know is an AOE healing item. It's a
That's right.
popcorn grenade. When it pops, the party begins, and all players in range are welcome to eat popcorn and restore some health.
Just eat
Use this
popcorn.
to heal your team and try to keep uninvited guests out of the party.
That's right. You see all the popcorn going into our faces as we fly around in this little circle. You guys are familiar with this already from having played the game so much. We appreciate that. We did fix a little bug where it wasn't spinning in air, so now it looks more appropriate when you actually toss it. And once it lands, it's going to start a party for everyone in the vicinity to heal with. We do know about a bug where that healing effect can get stuck in some cases. We have a possible fix for that, but it is not in this update. So, if you happen to get that bug stuck on you, do the honorable thing and just jump into the ocean. Thanks. Appreciate that.
Yeah. And then lastly, pocket dimension.
Yeah.
New favorite. You can pocket large items now. Trash cans, stop signs, crates, all the above. You can put them all in your pocket when you have this new perk.
Yeah, just look for any item that has an item card with this little symbol that's got like a little bag with a red slash through it. That means it's an unpocketable item. Those will be allowed to go in
Actually,
your
I think you might
pockets.
need to turn your camera so you can see it because our faces. There you go.
Oh.
Yeah, next
Oh, yeah,
to the
yeah,
right
good
of the
call.
stop sign, you see that little bag. There you
Yep.
go.
Yeah, so if you see that icon, it means it's not pocketable. But if you have pocket dimension, that rule changes for you, and you can pocket the heavy items.
Cool. Next up are balance changes.
Yeah.
Back to you, Adam.
So, balance is a sum of all parts. You guys know the drill by now. Hopefully, this is your third stream or so joining us for this kind of stuff. We do want to mention that while today the list of changes is pretty small, we will have a mid-season update with a pretty substantial amount of adjustments that will be coming a little bit later in the season. That update is going to include changes to Sumo Slab family, to Rocket Jump family, and even a bunch of final ring pacing adjustments that are really interesting, and a lot more. But for today, we're going to go over a smaller group of things and that new limited time mode that we want to show you.
Cool. All right. So first up, we've changed the color of the ground bailout on Hit VFX to make it more clear when the faster dodge is used. The slower bailout will have white VFX, while the faster ones will have yellow VFX.
Yeah, so you can see if I whiff and dodge, I get white X right there. And then if I do the same thing on hit, I'm going to get a yellow X instead. This should make it a lot more clear as a third party when you're trying to punish people when they got that faster dodge and when they didn't. And of course, it makes it even more clear when you get the faster dodge coming out of dashes and charge moves as well. So you can see if I do it too early out of this, I don't even get an X. But if I charge long enough and then dodge, I get that yellow X. So that helps a lot.
For sure. Hopefully it should be clear to see and understand.
Yeah.
Next up, we now allow you to use the improved bailout on hit after a teammate revival.
Yeah, so I can't demo this, but after you revive a teammate, if you roll out of the end of that animation, you'll get this version of the dodge, the yellow X version, the improved bailout on hit. So you'll dodge much faster.
Nice touch. Next up, we discovered some issues when releasing the block button while holding a weapon that were similar to how block end used to work, and have made updates to bring these in line with the no weapon blocking.
Yeah, so if you recall in 2.0, we made it so that when you release block, instead of being stuck there for a quarter of a second, you're stuck there for like just a handful of frames. And that change did not work for weapon blocks. So when you would release block on a weapon, you'd still be stuck for just as long as you were in Season 1. But we've gone ahead and corrected that with every weapon so that when you release block with a weapon, you'll be able to move nice and quick and it feels really good.
Cool. We've also extended the invulnerability window on Wakeup Dodge until the end, so that there is no window where you can be punished without an option to defend yourself.
Yeah, this one was always a little bit weird. I'm going to go ahead and knock Keenan down. Keenan, if you Wakeup Dodge roll towards me, he would be vulnerable right there in the past, right as he was getting up. There was actually a gap. So if he dodge rolled towards me and then did wake up back fist, there was a moment in there where I could hit him and he couldn't do anything about it. He was completely vulnerable. And really, we want the knockdown game to be about, reading the opponent and tech chasing them. If I know where he's going to go, I should go over there and try to deal with the option rather than having an option in there that's totally punishable no matter what. So this change makes Wake Up Dodge roll 1 and 2 both totally invulnerable. So if he does 2 Wake Up Dodge rolls into a back fist, he's invuln that whole time. So go ahead and try that out, Keenan. 2 dodge rolls into a back fist. And if I know what he's going to do, I can still get that punish.
You
But it should
baited
make
me.
getting up off the ground a bit easier and a bit less confusing in those moments where you're like, I know I dodged that. I know what, So it should feel a lot more clean.
Cool. Next up, we raised falling attack damage a bit. We feel the values in 2.0 had falling attacks doing too little to justify the risk. These are still not nearly as high as they were in Season 1, but it is a step in a direction, and we look forward to your feedback on it.
Yeah, so this will be all falling attacks, elbows, weapon falling attacks. These air chair shots have gone up a bit. They are higher than they were. They're not nearly as high as they were in Season 1. So I would say it went up, I don't know, 25% or something. It's not wild, but let us know how it feels. We want to get these to a spot where the risk reward makes sense. In Season 1, I think we can all agree that the reward was way too high for the risk, and I think at the start of Season 2, it was the exact opposite. The reward is way too low for the risk, and hopefully this trends in a direction that is that makes more sense for the game and makes you want to elbow drop crowds rather than just kind of waiting. So yeah, let us know how that feels.
For sure. Thanks. We made improvements to the climbing system to make it much less likely to accidentally detach while climbing around exterior corners. We've also made some improvements to the behavior of the camera while climbing. More climbing system improvements are in progress for future updates.
Yeah, this is one of the most common cases of being detached from a wall. So what you'll do is you'll grab a wall and you would head around the corner. Right now, I'm just going to hold right on my controller. I'm not doing anything else. I'm going to move up a little. There we go. So we're climbing around corners much more cleanly than we used to, including all this weird geometry. That's great. Good thing I drank a stamina drink as well. And you can see I'm not touching the controller with my other hand either. So all of this camera work is completely automatic. And it had some problems before. The auto climbing camera didn't handle corners very well. It would kind of get trapped behind a wall, but now it follows you really cleanly. So I've held right almost that entire time. I moved up a little at one moment, but I got all the way around that building without falling off till I ran out of stamina. The camera kept me in perfect view. I think it's a really, really nice improvement. You're going to notice all over the place, especially on some of the, more jaggy buildings that you see around some of the neighborhoods in Grapple City. Really good fix.
Yeah. Appreciate the detail around that.
Yeah.
And then lastly, for our balance changes, final rings from Grapple City are being re-enabled. So you'll find the balance of playtime between Grapple and Low Key to start to even out more.
That's right. So a little less Low Key, a little more Grapple City. Should be fairly close to 50-50 at this point, and we'll take another step in that direction in the next update as well. So hopefully you've enjoyed your time being mostly on Low Key. You'll still get to go there tons, and it's a ton of fun, but should be a little bit more balanced and open now.
Cool. Cool. Now on to our bug fixes.
Yeah, we're just going to show you a couple of the bug fixes. You can read more about a few extra ones in the full patch notes that are released tomorrow. But these are the ones that we're kind of excited to demo. So,
alrighty. First up, fix an issue where in certain falling states you could wall climb but not pole swing. Now you can do both in most cases.
Right. So if you recall on the last stream, I mentioned that if you were to pole swing and then air dodge out of it on the way down, you wouldn't be able to grab a pole, and that made some of the traversal feel kind of bad. But that is now fixed. So I'm going to grab the pole, let go, do my air dodge to get the extra distance, and I can grab another pole, no problem. So this can really get you moving around the world. Oh, I missed it. I was a little fancy there. Yeah, this is really, really fun. It lets you really you can get up high to these high parts of the pole before you even start. Like that, and then get big air dodge, and then grab the next pole. Go really far, grab the next pole. Yeah, okay, cool, I did it. I looked competent. Hooray.
Redemption. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that change. That was always how it was supposed to work. That bug really bothered me, but I'm really glad it's fixed now, and I think you're going to find a lot more interesting use for pole swings as traversal instead of just combat in this next version. Of course, I have seen a lot of people using it for combat to great effect. I love seeing people sheepishly standing next to a pole. Somebody approaches them and they just kick them away with this thing. It's really funny.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully you guys have been enjoying that. This should make you enjoy it even more.
Definitely. Next up, let's talk about some poison special moves.
Okay.
First up, we fixed an issue that allowed the air poison mist to use the improved bailout on hit even when missing.
Where's the mist? Here it is. Okay. All right, so Poison Mist had the same issue Air Sumo Slap did. It was just less bad. So When you whiffed an air, poison, mist, you would get to land and then dodge, even if you missed, and you would get the yellow version of the dodge, the better one. Now you get the correct one. It costs the correct amount of meter, and it has the correct speed, so you get the worse of the bailout versions. But of course, if you hit, get that yellow version, and I get the better dodge, and I get to save that stamina.
Cool. And then lastly, we fixed an issue that allowed the Poison Sumo Slap to bail out after landing on miss when this should not have been possible. As a result, we've added Poison Sumo Slap back into the game.
Welcome back, Poison Sumo Slap.
Welcome back.
Again, the Sumo Slap family is going to get some pretty big changes in the next update, but for this one, they're not getting any. But do the air dodge out of that like you'd expect. And if I whiff it and land, no dodge is available, just like all the other Sumo Slaps. So if it gets blocked or whiffed and I land, no dodge is going to be available until that lengthy animation is over. But on hit, I can still do what I normally do. And on block or miss, I'd have to dodge out in the air to get that air dodge.
Cool. And that'll conclude our bug fixes for today. But again, friendly reminder, check out that comprehensive list tomorrow in our patch notes. Cool. Now it's time to introduce our new limited time mode.
Yeah, we can't play this one in front of you because it requires a lot of people. So we've actually pre-recorded some footage, which we're going to cut to and talk over. But we are introducing today Snowball Fight. So we want you to celebrate the season with a ball of cold packed ice shards straight to your face. This is, in my opinion, perhaps the best Snowball Fight video game ever made. Now, I know there aren't that many Snowball Fight video games, but I still think it is.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Let's go ahead into that or transition to that footage of the few matches that we have.
Let's do it.
Cool. So starting up here, we are at cannon launch. You'll see on the barge there's a bunch of spawners and snowballs to check out first. This first match we're going to be watching, solo match. You'll see an adjusted size of the ring for Snowball Fight mode. This just kind of encapsulates everyone that's going to be throwing snowballs together. And you want to be the last player standing or team standing to win. There's going to be no punching or attacks or weapons allowed, only snowball throwing. So projectile focus mode. No healing items are going to be around. But if you eliminate another player, they will drop heart coins that restore some health if you're quick enough to grab them. Snowballs are found in snowball spawners and they come in 3 sizes. We'll chat about those as we're counting them in this match. Let's check it out.
Yeah, we got quite a bit of variety here in the snowballs. There's 3, right? You got your small snowball, just called Snowball, travels really far and fast. It's kind of like the football. Does very low damage. We got our big snowball. It travels a medium distance, does medium damage. Going to feel pretty familiar when you throw it to a lot of the other items in the game. And we got our Omega Snowball. It's really big, really heavy. You walk slower with it, but it hits hard and it guarantees a stamina break when blocked. So all the snowballs do a lot of stamina damage on block. That's how you open people up in this mode. But you really got to watch your ammo. You need to fill those pockets with snowballs, as you see Keenan doing right now, to make sure that you have enough to defend yourself and enough to actually punish somebody if you are to get that stamina break, so you can get that extra hit. You will die pretty fast in this mode. You can only heal by getting KOs and picking up those star coins or the heart coins. Other people will appear and try to take them, like right now. Somebody's trying to take Keenan's coins. And if you don't have the extra snowballs to defend yourself, that can be a pretty nasty situation. It is a really fun mode that actually is really fast. I think games of this tend to run about 5-6 minutes in total, and it really adds a new flavor to the way that you can enjoy Rumbleverse as you traverse the level with only projectiles in mind. So my best tip to you when playing is you're going to be tempted to block the incoming snowballs. You do have 10 legs automatically, so you may think you have a lot of padding there, but you should maybe try to dodge them occasionally, because running out of stamina can be pretty brutal, and the snowballs do a ton on block. Even the smaller ones do like 60 or so on block.
Definitely out for the dodges over blocking, because when you eat them, it does not feel good. You wanna outplay and maybe separate that distance between you and your opponents. And then just as a clarification, you will be able to play Snowball Fight mode in solos or duos starting tomorrow. But next week, you'll also have solos and trios. So welcome back, trios, through a different kind of mode next week.
That's right. 2 weeks of snowball fighting. Keenan and I will definitely be out there chucking some snow.
For sure.
Let's see how Keenan did in this match.
Yeah. So quick question for you, Adam. Obviously, there's the 3 different sizes. How do you choose to fill up your pockets while you're playing?
Well, each snowball spawner can spawn any of the sizes. So if you grab like a medium snowball from a spawner and wait for it to respawn one, it might give you a different one. So I think one interesting strategy is to find a good spot to kind of bunker up and take a lot of the snowballs off the spawner, fill your pockets with the ones that you love the best, and maybe make a little pile on the ground. Keenan's doing it right now.
I think I'm doing it right now.
Make yourself a little snow pile on the ground that can give you some ammo. And this is a really nice thing to do if you have kind of the high ground as well. It lets you be a little bit more versatile and aggressive with how you play with the snowballs. But somebody might come and steal your stash and use it against you, so you got to be careful.
Yes, especially in the team modes.
Yes.
You see a whole team running. Oh, there's a nice set of snowballs over there. Well, we don't have any. Maybe I might want to steal that positioning, you know?
Exactly. And, my personal strategy for the pockets is, I want to have the big snowballs because they're the most versatile, and I want to have at least one Omega snowball. That's going to help me get that guard break up close and be threatening. I tend not to carry the small ones, but I use them a lot in the kind of early and middle game to just pester people from a really long distance where they can't really pester me back. So I find a lot of value in those at different parts of the game. Oh, you're about to get wrung out, Keenan.
Yeah, I am.
Oh no! I think you're
baited by the heart coins. I wanted to live, but I couldn't live long enough.
Oh man. Cool. So we got one more match to show you too with the duos in action, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, starting tomorrow, you'll be able to play solo snowball fight or duo snowball fight. The week after that, it'll be solo snowball fight or trio snowball fight.
Yeah. All right, now let's head into some duos. And one thing I've really learned to like about the size, this mode is the size of the ring, because depending on where you're at positioning wise, you're seeing everyone. So if you establish a really nice high vantage point, or you think you're in a good center place where you're maybe evading all of the action on the outside of the ring as it starts to collapse in, positioning could be huge in this mode.
Absolutely, yeah. It can end on a dime. But at least in duos or trios, you have teammates there to help revive you.
Definitely.
Sometimes it can feel a little easier to revive in this mode. We've lowered the timers for those for that reason. Because they can't use any move they want. They have to use snowballs to try to stop you. It makes it a little bit more predictable. And they could run out and then be unable to stop you from reviving unless they can go replenish the ammo. And you can see what Keenan is doing right now is he's not standing at one snowball spawner and waiting for it to respawn. It just takes too long. It takes like 5-6 seconds. What he's doing is trying to move between different spawners to fill his pockets up as quickly as possible, so he's ready for offense or defense.
Cool. I'm thinking that I have a really good position right here, maybe calling out where I want to go next with my teammate using that ping system.
We're getting in close.
I see one person potentially without a teammate, so maybe this is the chase I want to win.
Yeah. Oh, there he is. Very good.
Oh, but then the teammate shows up.
Big trade.
All right,
crowding people can be really good. Like getting that close to people may seem nerve-wracking, but sometimes it can be really hard to aim if someone dodges right past you.
And especially if you have the Omega snowball, sometimes if you try to use those across, a part of the map, you're not really going much far with those. So you want to get really up close and personal with the big ones.
Absolutely. Looks like you had to bail. You have very low health.
That's maybe playing a little too aggressive here.
Yeah, the only way out of this situation is going to be for you and your teammate to get those KOs and try to get those coins. You got to be cautious when you're with teammates too to make sure you share the coins appropriately so everybody stays healthy.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be easy to just kind of pick them all up for yourself, but if you don't need them, you want to make sure your teammates get their share. But don't do that too slowly, or a third party shows up and takes them.
Cool. So I feel like I'm just scrambling here because I'm low health. There's no chicken, no nothing that I can replenish myself with. So I'm hoping, hey teammate, can you please protect me or try to secure a KO with me because I need the health.
Yeah. This tree would seem like a good camping spot, but there's really the only one spawner up here. So Keenan is trying to let that spawner do its thing and get some of these snowballs out of it so that he can have a pile to work with. Pester people from a distance. Otherwise, your fire rate's going to be one snowball every 5 seconds if you don't keep moving, which is not amazing.
Yeah, like normal solos, duos, trios, playing with full pockets is always going to be a huge advantage you want to make sure you're living off of.
Yeah, I think one of the hardest things to remember in this mode is actually when to run. You know, when do you feel like you need to go replenish the snowballs, and how hard are you willing to press when your ammo is really low or empty? What's your strategy for that, Keenan?
Depends if I have a teammate or not, for sure. But it's like what I have in my inventory. If I have something to play aggressively with and I don't see anyone else in my surroundings, maybe that's when I choose to step up. If I'm seeing a bunch of mayhem, maybe I choose to opt out of the fight, even though it may be super fun.
Yeah,
If I want to live longer. But if I'm in that for fun state of mind, I'm definitely just jumping in because I just want to wreak havoc.
yeah. For me, I feel like if I'm down to 2 snowballs left and it doesn't feel like we're going to be able to finish the job, so to speak, I want to get out and replenish. So I'll
Oh,
bail.
and that just reminded me. So I just pole swinged.
Yeah.
How does pole swing work here?
It can still hit people. It'll knock them away, but it won't be able to do any damage.
Good to know. Cool. So now you'll see here, I'm not going to take those health coins because I want my teammate to fill up. I recognize I'm at full health now. I think
Very
each
nice.
replenishes 50 health,
Yeah,
if I'm
50.
recalling. Okay,
Mhm.
cool. 50 health. It's good to know there. And now I believe I can't see how many teammates are left or teams are left, but we're
Oh,
definitely nearing the end for sure.
yeah. It is possible to send somebody into the water with a snowball, but they don't knock back that far, so it
Ugh.
doesn't happen super often. It almost happened to you, but it doesn't happen
And
super
a
often.
blue
Hey, you
heart
got
carried
it.
me. Thanks for the win, and we are the snowball champions.
Very nice.
Woohoo!
Well, that's snowball fight mode.
Yeah. Hopefully, all of you can look forward to tomorrow. Let us know your thoughts on the single version or the duo version. Um, and then, yeah, this will be the conclusive part of our snowball fight section of the stream. Next up, we're going to be heading into our title fight. So if you're interested in playing, go ahead and hop on. We're going to be doing restricted match duos with me and Adam.